All right, everyone, get ready for a deep dive today. We're going to be talking about DreamScape. I know it's got a lot of you excited, especially since so many of our listeners are passionate about storytelling. And, well, DreamScape, it's right at the crossroads of AI and creativity.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The timing couldn't be better with all these AI tools popping up. Dreamscape is really pushing the envelope. It's making us rethink what's possible in storytelling.
So let's start with the basics. What exactly is DreamScape? Our source material mentions feeding it a prompt, then boom, you get a story. But how does that work? What's the magic behind it?
Okay, picture this. You have this idea, maybe it's a single word, or a quick image that pops into your head, or hey, maybe it's a full-blown plot you've been working on. You take that, whatever it is, and you give it to Dreamscape. It's pretty amazing. The AI engine takes that seed of an idea and weaves a story around it. It's tailored to exactly what you gave it. And we're not talking about picking from some pre-written list. It's generating something totally unique, on the fly.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Hmm.
So we're not talking about generic, run-of-the-mill stories. What if I wanted something specific, like a sci-fi mystery with a bit of a noir feel? Could Dreamscape handle that?
Absolutely. And that's what makes it so exciting. You can choose your genre, pick a style, even tell it what kind of voice you want. It's super adaptable. From gritty detective stories to like whimsical kids' tales, it's like having a writing partner who can change to fit your vision.
Okay, now you've got me hooked. But let's talk control for a second. How much do you actually have in the process? Is it just throwing a prompt out there and hoping for the best?
Oh, no, no, no. You have a lot of control. That's actually a big part of what sets Dreamscape apart. I'd say it's more like a dance between you and the AI.
A dance? I like that.
You can ask for different versions of the story, see how it plays with your idea in different ways. You can edit the text itself, fine-tune the characters, even throw in some plot twists if you want to keep things interesting.
So it's not about letting the AI take over. It's more like having a really advanced writing buddy, one who can help you explore and bring your ideas to life.
Exactly. It's all about collaboration. And once you're happy with what you've created together, Dreamscape makes sharing it easy. Different formats. Straight to social media if you want. Or you can get feedback from other users. There's a whole community on Dreamscape.
It's really amazing when you think about it, a platform built for collaborative storytelling. Okay, so we've established that Dreamscape is doing some pretty groundbreaking stuff. But let's zoom out a bit. Our source material mentioned the potential impact on writers, educators, even therapists. How could Dreamscape change the way we approach storytelling?
Well, for writers, think of it as a brainstorming partner on steroids. You've got writer's block, you feed Dreamscape a character sketch and a conflict. Boom! It gives you tons of storylines, exploring different sides of your idea.
That sounds like a game changer.
It can help you smash through those creative blocks.
It could be an amazing learning tool, too. I can see teachers using it to teach about different storytelling structures, experiment with genres, make learning about narrative more engaging, more interactive.
For sure, and don't forget the therapeutic side of things. Storytelling is a powerful way to process emotions, make sense of experiences, even find healing. Dreamscape could be a safe space for people to explore those personal narratives and to dig into their inner world through story.
Okay, so far it all sounds amazing, but I feel like there's got to be a but coming here with all this incredible potential. There have to be some downsides, right? Some concerns.
You're right, there are always challenges with new tech. One of the big ones around Dreamscape and AI art in general is originality. Can AI really create something truly new? Or is it just remixing what's already out there? From all the books and stories humans have already created.
That's a huge question. It really makes you think about the nature of creativity itself. Is it a human thing? Or can machines really copy it? Or even go beyond what humans can do?
It's a question philosophers and artists have debated for ages, and now AI is adding a whole new layer to the discussion. Another concern is what this means for human writers. Could AI eventually replace us? Or will it become a tool that helps us be even more creative?
Those are some big questions. I'm sure we'll keep unpacking them as we explore Dreamscape further.
It really is a fascinating time to be thinking about all this. But before we get too deep into the philosophical stuff, let's bring things down to earth. Our source material has some great tips for using Dreamscape.
Yeah.
I mean, even the best tool is only as good as the person using it.
Absolutely. Let's get practical. What are some things people should keep in mind if they want to really make the most of Dreamscape?
One of the biggest things that jumps out is don't just take the first story Dreamscape gives you and run with it. Experiment. Play around.
So it's not just about taking what the AI gives you.
Nope. Think of it like a sculptor working with a big block of marble. They don't just stop with the first shape they see. You might have to try a bunch of different drafts, change your prompts, mess around with the genre settings until you find that masterpiece hidden inside.
So you're saying it's about really interacting with the tool, pushing it to see what it can do.
Exactly. The more you experiment, the more you'll understand how Dreamscape works and how to use it to power your own creativity.
That makes me think of something else the source material mentioned: learning. It emphasized using Dreamscape not just to write stories, but to actually learn from the AI. What does that mean?
It's a really cool idea. Don't just focus on the story you get at the end. Take the time to analyze it. Pay attention to how Dreamscape makes decisions. How does it put a scene together? How does it build characters? What's the dialogue like? You can learn a lot about writing by looking at what the AI does.
That's so interesting, like taking a master class from an AI. But wouldn't that make us lazy writers in the long run if we just copy what the AI is doing? How do we find our own voice?
That's a good point, and it's important to be thoughtful about it. It's not about copying the AI exactly. It's more about understanding how it works, like learning from a great chef. At first, you might follow their recipe word for word, but eventually you start adding your own touches. You develop your own style. It's the same with writing. By studying what Dreamscape does, you can learn the basic building blocks of storytelling, and then you can take those and make them your own.
That makes sense. It's not about replacing human creativity. It's about finding ways to make it even better, to
Mhm.
use AI as a springboard for our own creative exploration.
Exactly. And that brings us to the last tip: collaboration. We've talked about collaborating with the AI itself, but things get really interesting when you bring in other people.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about this collaboration idea.
Dreamscape isn't meant to be a solo tool. There's a whole community online. Users share their AI-generated stories, they give each other feedback, they even work together on new projects. It's pretty cool when you think about it. You're combining the power of AI with the power of human connection.
So you could take a story that the AI helped you create and then work with other writers to make it even better.
Exactly. Add more depth, more emotion, things that the AI might not be able to do on its own.
I love that. This idea of human and artificial creativity coming together, it feels like a whole new way of approaching storytelling.
Absolutely. It's something we're going to see more and more as AI keeps developing. It makes us rethink what it means to be an author, what it means for a story to be original, what art really is.
It's not just about a new tool. It's a whole new way of thinking about creativity.
You got it. And it's happening right now. Our source material even talked about how Dreamscape is already being used in unexpected ways, like some therapists are using it to help their patients, to help them explore their feelings and work through trauma, all through storytelling.
That's incredible. It shows you how powerful stories are, no matter who or what creates them.
And it makes you wonder, what else is out there waiting to be discovered? What new kinds of stories will we tell when we bring human and artificial intelligence together?
It's exciting, but it's also a little bit scary, isn't it?
Right.
We're stepping into a whole new world of storytelling. It really does. Like we're standing on the edge of something big.
Right. And the best part is, we get to be a part of it, to experiment and see where it all leads.
I love that. Instead of being afraid of AI, we're embracing it, seeing it as a partner in creativity.
That's the spirit. It's all about finding that balance, where human brilliance meets the power of AI, to create something truly amazing.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Dreamscape today, what are the big takeaways you hope our listeners will remember?
I think the most important thing to remember is Dreamscape and AI storytelling in general. It's not about replacing us. It's about giving us new tools, new ways of telling stories, ways we never even imagined before.
It's about being open to the unknown, pushing the boundaries of what we think we know, and maybe even rediscovering the magic of storytelling along the way.
You said it. And it's about understanding that the future of storytelling, it's not about choosing between humans and machines. It's about finding ways to bring them together, to create something richer and more beautiful than either could do alone.
It's a future full of possibility,
And challenges, too.
but definitely a future worth exploring. And Dreamscape is a perfect example of that, a glimpse into what happens when human imagination and AI work together.
Absolutely.
So we always like to leave our listeners with something to think about. And today's question is this: if storytelling is such a human thing, how will AI change the stories we tell and how we connect with those stories in the future? It's a really interesting question, and one we'll keep coming back to as AI continues to evolve. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Dreamscape.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time,